Yo, did you hear about the murder in Pismo?
No.
There was somebody killed in Pismo, and I'm not laughing because that's a funny thing. I'm laughing because I don't know what emotion to attach to it because that's so crazy that somebody got murdered in our hometown like that. That is.
Do you know any like backstory on it?
Gang affiliated, I think. You know.
In Pismo?
Yeah, it was.
Pismo has gangs.
Oceano and Santa Maria and Napomo. So maybe they saw somebody that they were looking for. I don't know, dude. It's shitty wall to wall. The fact that somebody got killed.
How are you feeling about that? Are you
like
shaking?
I said, I don't know how to. I'm not laughing because that's a funny matter because it's absolutely not. I just don't know what emotion to attach to it. And because I don't know what emotion to attach to it, that comes out. Like the laughter comes, not laughter, but like the stupid grin because it's like so crazy. It's so crazy that.
Yeah, so you don't have to necessarily deal with the emotion.
Yeah, because it's like, it's just.
I guess it's so close to home.
It is. And we don't deal with that around here like that. You know, we don't deal with shootings like folks in LA or Chicago or, you know, huge metropolitan cities deal with. So this is crazy, man.
Well, where I grew up, there was stuff like that all the time. Lompoc, there's stuff like that all the time. There was gangs and stabbings, and it's gotten way worse.
Yeah.
Way worse over the years. But yeah, man. But yeah, I didn't hear anything about that. I apparently just been living in a hole. So yeah, I didn't hear anything about that. I don't watch the news either, though.
I found out from somebody that I know, and they were like, "Yeah, did you know this happened?" And I said,
"Did you know the person?"
No,
okay.
I mean, I don't associate with gang members.
But they were sure it was like gang affiliated?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. And Pismo.
Gang.
Buzz. That's crazy.
Yeah, don't go to Pismo
unless
you want to get shot.
Yeah, don't go to the outlets.
Fuck, dude. No, not the outlets. This was like, I think, down towards the beach, like the pier area. I think that's the illustration I got from what they were saying. So,
like the entrance, like the pier area.
No, not like the pier to the beach. I'm talking about like the Pismo Pier, like where that big sign is, Pismo Beach. That's what I'm picturing.
Like where you enter, like you could take your trucks onto the beach and stuff like that?
No, that's the pier. I'm talking about the pier that goes out from the boardwalk, like the boardwalk down in
the
Pismo.
Touristy area.
That's
crazy.
That's what I'm picturing. I could be way off. I mean, please someone correct me if I'm way off.
I have no idea. Yeah, that's nuts. Like by Hoagies?
Well, like
in
again,
that general area?
Yeah, general area. Like, again, I could be way off, but that's the picture I got.
It's a little high class for gangs.
Maybe they just saw somebody. They're like, "Hey, I need to kill you."
Well, maybe there was more to it. Like maybe it was like
could have been drug affiliated.
It could have been drug affiliated.
Man.
Definitely, it could have been something where somebody was running their mouth and shit got out of hand.
Yeah,
and,
that too.
You know, it went sour quick. You know, things like that happen. You know, yeah, that's.
And it could have just been like two gangs that were, you know, conversing about talking shit about one another or whatever. Like, you know, fuck, dude, I don't know. But yeah, that's I obviously the man, I would assume it's a man that got killed. His family, my heart goes out to them. That's fucking horrific, dude. And if he had any children or anything, I mean, that's, you know, fuck, dude.
It's like
one of my since we're talking about death, I know he's an acquaintance. I know him. I know his girlfriend, and his girlfriend posts about him. So I've met him kind of like, in fact, I don't even know if I've met him personally. Anyways, he's an acquaintance through Facebook, right? I learned that his parents got murdered inside their home in Texas. Both, oh my gosh, man, can you imagine that kind of, can you imagine first hearing that news and then having to deal, like you would almost think that it was not real.
Like it was a movie.
Like it was, it was a fictional, like it was a dream. It's not real. You wake up to that the next morning and the morning after knowing that your parents aren't here anymore.
And then you have to go because you're really close with your parents.
Yeah. You have to plan their funerals.
You have to fly to Texas, see what happened, talk to the police.
I don't know if he got that far. I don't know. I hope he. Look, I don't know if I'd want to. Would you want to know that? Would you want to know what happened? Like actually play by play?
I would want to know. Yeah, for sure.
Fuck,
Absolutely,
man.
You know, I would want to know. I wouldn't necessarily want to know like how it was done or anything like that, but like I would want to know like if they broke in, if they were there to rob, if they were, you know what I'm saying? Like I would want like those kind of details. I wouldn't necessarily want to know like, you know, they were shot 14 times. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and if something like that happened to somebody that you're close to like that, when I say close, I mean like a family member, would you be able to forgive the person who did it?
It's a great question. And I honestly, I can't truly answer that because I don't know, because I haven't dealt with anything like that. So
no, obviously most of us haven't, but what would you presuppose your answer would be?
I honestly can't answer that, man.
I'll answer it. No. Okay. No, right out of the rip, dude, because I don't care what that means for me and my future. When you do that, when you do something like that to somebody that is a part of who I am, I disregard everything. And I can't go beyond that measure. I'm not God. I'm not Jesus. I can't forgive that. I can't. And I'm just being 100% transparent.
Yeah.
If that were to happen and I were to know the person, I don't care who they were. I don't care. I don't care if it was my cousin.
Would you go after vengeance?
No. But I mean, well, I don't know. I'd have to second guess that too. But I can almost for sure without question tell you that I would not forgive that person. How could you? How could you forgive a person like that?
Right. No, and I understand what you're saying. But, you know, you ever heard the saying, time heals all wounds?
Yeah, relationships. I don't know if that shit would heal a person that murdered my mom or dad.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
No, fuck them, dude. Like that's how I would view that person for the rest of my life. Dude, there are people that I write off in my life that are friends, and I have zero problem washing my hands of them. And there hasn't even been anything nefarious between us. And I have zero problem washing my hands from them because people that don't serve me, fuck them. And I don't mean I need something from you. I mean, if you're going to add negativity to my life, if you're going to add something negative in general, I don't need that. And I don't even want to affiliate with you. I don't even want you part of my inner circle. That's on everything. And I wash my hands of those people, and I'm fucking glad to do so. So what do you think would be the odds that I would forgive somebody? I'm not saying you in general. I'm just saying like people listening. What do you think that the odds would be that I would forgive someone like that did something that took a fucking piece of my heart out?
Yeah, well, I'm not saying I would forgive them. I'm just saying that like it would be one of those things where like that's just such a I don't want to say outlandish scenario.
It
but
is.
Like
It most
it's
definitely
very
is.
outlandish scenario to try to wrap my head around of something like that happening in my life, let alone even your life, but happened into somebody that you knows you're acquaintance with, and trying to jump into their shoes emotionally and trying to figure out if I would be able to forgive that person. Because like, I think about my family, right? And my people that I'm close to. And if somebody hurt anybody in my inner circle, I would probably go to jail because I would want vengeance. Absolutely. Because those are my people. Especially, you know, people that are my blood, you know, that live under my roof.
So by extension, you're saying that you would not forgive. And if anything, you would go a step further and say, I'm going to do something to you now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so, we're in the same boat.
Thinking about it now, wrapping my head around it, yeah.
Like when you personalize it,
yeah,
it becomes a little more real.
Yeah.
And it's a little easier to come to a solution at that point.
Right. Right.
Or an answer.
But does that make you any better than them?
It's not about being better.
No. What I mean is if, say you take vengeance into your own hands, right? And you go after this person, you hurt that person, right? Does that make you equal to them? Or does that bring you down to their level?
I mean, it does that, but
you understand what I'm saying?
It does that, but it's irrelevant because it doesn't matter at that point because you're not doing it to get to their level. You're not doing it for anything. You're doing it because fuck them.
Right.
That's it.
And now they're off scot-free because I did X, Y, and Z to them.
What do you mean? They're off scot-free?
Say I killed them.
Okay.
All right. Now they're off scot-free for their crimes.
They're not, though, because they have to answer to a different source at that point.
But now I have to answer.
For sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, that's just one of those things where it's just like, it's one of those, like, yes, anger and aggression and all of that. And just, one of those things where it would be like, I would do everything in my power not to hurt this person. But because I could spend the rest of my life in jail.
Well, right. You're kind of now screwing with your future.
Right.
And that's not a good thing.
Right.
I think the best thing in that position is because you know that the circumstances are not going to be in your favor if you do subjugate yourself to that position like that person did.
Yeah.
So it's best to just let them alone. Let them be alone in their own muddied water that they've basically created for themselves in prison, and just not forgive them as your own vengeance towards it. But then that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't make sense. But that's what I would probably likely do because I don't want to also ruin my future. But I can tell you that I wouldn't just allow that person to be forgiven from me based on what they did.
Now here's a question. What if, because every law is different, right, in all different states, right? And say they got manslaughter, right, second-degree manslaughter. I don't know the term or anything like that, and they didn't get life. They were out in 25 years, right? Do you wait 25 years to get them when they get released?
I think at that point, the desire has lost its zeal.
Right.
And
because you're probably still hurting him, knowing that this motherfucker is going to be back out on the streets.
I think at that point
possibly able to do this to somebody else.
Yeah, I think at that point I wouldn't care the onus is on him. If he wants to, if he wants to do it to somebody else, I can't personally keep everybody from killing everybody. There's going to be murders in the world no matter what.
You're not Batman.
So but at the same time it's like this. My personal vendetta against this person is just that. It's personal between myself and that person.
I would try to ruin their life the best I can without getting in trouble. I would try to stop them from getting a job. I would try to stop them from doing anything good in this world to the best of my ability without hindering my own shit.
Well, here's the thing. In 25 years, you're pretty much indoctrinated to understand the economics and political reasonings of prison. So at that point, do you think that person would even stay in regular functioning society, or they just go back?
That's a good question.
They would just probably end up going back.
Yeah, because they've adapted to the prison lifestyle. Absolutely. Right. But while the time that they were out, I would try to make their life absolutely living hell.
Yeah, so you're with me in my boat, man. You would not forgive them, basically.
Yeah.
Because if you forgive, you essentially just move on.
But what now if they...
But also I can move on without forgiving.
Right. Now what if born again, Christian or Catholic,
spiritual,
spiritual, very sorry for what they did, wasn't in the right state of mind, so on and so forth. Would you be able to forgive then?
It would lend a little bit of
healing
on my end, but it still wouldn't be irreconcilable.
Yeah, you're not going to go out and have a meal with the motherfucker or anything like that, but
or reconcilable. Sorry, it wouldn't be reconcilable. It wouldn't be. I still would, and I go back to the whole, illustration of Friends. I don't even need to have anything there doesn't have to be anything nefarious take place with him and me or her and me, and I still wash my hands of that person and give zero care. And how people say, like, I give zero fucks, and they really don't? I really mean that with that. I fucking zero care, dude. And that's something that I make a hard decision with before I do it. But once I do it, I'm like a woman that divorces her husband. She never comes back, dude. When she leaves, she's gone, Jack. And she's never coming back. There's a song about that, I think.
There is no more, no more, no more, no more.
But
Hit
it's
the road, Jack. Don't
it's
come
very
back
true.
no more.
It's very true. That's the way I operate. So how much more do you think it would be for someone who killed somebody that is a piece of me? There's no way. In fact, I'll go a step further. If my cousin did it, if my cousin killed did something like as deleterious as that, I would never forgive them. Never, dude. My cousin, never. Could be first cousin, second cousin, doesn't matter. Not going to forgive them. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a fucking cousin. And I know that these are all narcissistic traits, by the way. People that don't have any feeling towards that and feeling towards loved ones. That's not the case. It's just the opposite. I may be narcissistic with certain things because we all have narcissism. We're all on the spectrum of narcissistic.
Yeah.
But when it comes to that, it's because I feel so much for that person that I can't allow myself to reverse in nature my way of loving or I don't even know how to frame it. I could not wipe that under the rug because I do care so much. That's the only way I can put it, man. I couldn't wipe it under the rug by forgiving the person and letting it kind of be and maintain that kind of love that I had for that person. I feel like it would be disrespectful to that person, and it would be the reverse of being empathetic. It would be the reverse of being, fuck, I can't choose my words right.
I'm just waiting for that microphone to fall right into your lap.
I can't think of the words, man, but it is not something that I operate on in terms of no love or no empathy. It is the opposite because I love so much for that person. I give so much to that person that if in fact, and I put so much stock and investment in that person, if in fact something were to happen, I would not be able to go back. And that's the reason why I would wash my hands, and that would have the same transmutable effect to the person who killed a loved one of mine.
Yeah.
Like, even though I had no stock in them, it doesn't matter. I can't forgive them. It is. And I've wrestled with that I've mowed that question over in my life for years and years. Like, what would I do, man? Because the Christian side of me wants to forgive. You want to. But let's say the human side of me, the psychological wired side of me, like the way that I'm wired, ingrained to be, I can't in good nature do that. Maybe Jesus could do that. God can do that. I can't do that. I'm a mere mortal. I can't, I'm just not, I can't do that. I can't see myself in any authentic way come to that side. I just can't, man. Maybe I might change in my latter years. Honestly, I hope not, because that is something that is irreprehensible, dude.
Now imagine when you get your own family. You know, that's gonna change. That hardness that you have it's going to harden more towards certain things, and it's going to soften other things.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Yeah, no, I'm kind of on the same with you, for sure. Yeah.
And people that do that,
there's no reason to put any kind of pain on anybody else. Like, I don't understand that in any way, shape, and form. Like, there's no reason to what's the best word I'm looking for? Put your harm anybody else. There's no reason for it. Because somebody did you wrong, so you need to harm them. And it took me a long time for me to be like that, because like I've been in plenty of battles and plenty of fights and all that fun shit, right? Because somebody did me wrong, you know. But it's just one of those things, man, where it's just like, it's not worth it, because what if you do actually kill them while you're in hand-to-hand combat with somebody? What if you paralyze them? What if you give them brain damage? What if, stuff like that? Now you are being charged with second-degree manslaughter. Mm-hmm. Now you're being charged with assault.
Now your whole life's ruined.
Now your life is absolutely ruined. So every time that I want to get out of the car and just beat the living shit out of somebody, because it does, like, Because some of these drivers, man, I'll tell you what, I want to fucking smash. I just yell in the car.
Right.
You know, you drove with me. You know, yeah, it's not worth fighting. I will do everything I can to get out of a fight. Everything I can. You know, because it's not worth it. It's not worth hurting people, you know?
Yeah, because there's an element of like, when that person does hurt, it doesn't make you feel good.
No.
You know, unless you can compartmentalize it and you're a fighter, like you're a skilled fighter and that's your job to fight people.
But that's different though. That's totally different. Like being trained martial artist and fighting like doing MMA or doing, you know, kickboxing or boxing and stuff like that. Like these guys, they love to do it, but they do it in a trained environment. They don't do it out on the streets unless they are physically attacked, and they will do everything they can to get out of it beforehand because they know they're just going to hurt the person that's coming at them.
Yeah.
You know?
It is a different dynamic.
It's a different dynamic. A lot of the guys don't like fighting. You know, a lot of fighters don't actually like fighting. They're just good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the way that they make a living, you know? But but they do it in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
You know? They don't do it out on the streets. Like the shit that people do in backyards, have you seen those like backyard fights and shit like that? Dumb as fuck. Why the fuck?
You remember Kimbo Slice?
Hell yeah.
Man,
Kimbo
he was like the
man.
pioneer of that shit.
Kimbo was the fucking man. Now his son's fighting.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Kimbo's son's fighting.
In the MMA? Or
yeah, he fights. He does MMA. Yeah, I don't know if he's in the UFC or not, but yeah. And then they got now they got bare knuckle boxing and bare knuckle fighting, and I'm just like, nah, man.
Well, if you notice, they're taking it back to the Coliseum days.
Oh yeah,
the Warrior days where.
Have you seen that slap fighting?
Yeah, and it's probably gonna get much worse because it's all about entertainment, and it's really just going back to the days of, you know, people in stands watching a below of people just mutilate themselves.
Roman times.
Yeah, Roman times.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, the slap boxing is pretty crazy.
Dude, that slap stuff, bro, where the guy just sits there and winds up and you just have to sit there and just eat that fucking hand. Whew.
Well, like low key, dude, they know how to use their palm, and they're almost hitting. They're almost like closed fist hitting with how they use their palm.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. It's called clubbing, and I was watching it, and I was just like, this is fucking.
It's not really a slap. It's like this, but then they just open their fingers up. But they're really, like you're saying, clubbing. They're really doing this.
But they're just sitting there just eating it. And I'm just like, the guy's got a mouthpiece in. The guy's got his ear protected. He got his hands behind his back, holding on to a fucking, I think, a towel or a pool noodle. And he's just sitting there with his fucking chin out. This guy's winding up just to fucking smack the fucking shit out of him to try to knock him out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bruh.
That's not good for the brain at all.
I'm like, bruh. But here's the thing, though, is that's a compelling argument, right? Is people are like, this is bad, this is CTE waiting to happen, so on and so forth. So is football.
Yeah, that's insane levels of that.
So is
UFC. Yeah.
Unprotected elbow on a skull is harder than a slap to the face.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, unprotected knee to the face is harder than a slap to the face. You know?
Yeah, it's all not good, man.
So people that are like, oh, you're going to get CTE and all this stuff. You know, boxing's the same way, but boxers take hundreds of hits and in the span of 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are taking 3 slaps to the face.
Yeah, but they get knocked out with each slap, basically. Well, not with each slap, but they get knocked out. They have the potential to get knocked out quick.
Absolutely.
And whereas with boxing, you don't see that. You don't see people get knocked out off of one hit a lot. Not like slapping.
You know, same thing with UFC, man. You see people get knocked out with one punch, boom, boom. And then sometimes the ref doesn't jump in quick enough. They jump on top, bam, bam. You know, and the guy's head, the minute he hits that mat, wham, that head bounces off because he doesn't have control of his body, you know? So, yeah, you know, with the slap boxing, when the guy gets hit, at least he's got, like, people to catch him, you know, and try to bring him back to life as quickly as possible. I'm not defending this. It's fun entertainment. I like violence. I like watching violent stuff, you know? I like watching UFC. I'm a huge MMA fan. I'm a huge boxing fan, kickboxing fan, huge wrestling fan, obviously. And like I'm just watching. I'm just like, my buddy. I posted something. My buddy's like, "Would you do it?" And I'm like, "No, I just enjoy watching it." You know, I wouldn't just sit there and let somebody slap me in the face. Hell no. But that's a different kind of breed. That's a different animal. It's a different kind of breed of a human being. You know. So.
Yeah, women are doing it too, man.
Yeah, dude. Women are doing it, bro. Women are doing it. Men are doing it. Kids are doing it. It's crazy.
Kids are doing slap boxing like that?
Oh, dude, different countries, dude. Dude, they have, in Thailand, people send their kids to Thai boxing school so they can bring riches to the family as being Muay Thai fighters at 5 years old.
Huh. Yeah, different cultures have different standards, man, and what different pursuits, what they want, what they expect out of their kin, you know. I think America's the most laziest culture. It's got to be the most laziest, man. In juxtaposition to like Russians or like you're saying, people from Thailand.
Yeah.
It's got to be like the laziest, dude. We're so lazy. We're told to go to school, get a job, save money, pay your taxes, invest in stock market shit. Hear Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
No, what's that?
By Robert Kiyosaki. It's a book. It talks about talks about like the rich dad, the poor dad, what they do to, you know, not what they do to make money, but like the differences between the mindsets. And we're told that we're indoctrinated to do that, you know, and that's probably why there's no onus on us to fucking level up. We just do the bare minimum and do what we're told to do, and we've been told that from such an early age. Why would we defy that? You know, why would we go against that? It's just so we do that, and then what ends up breeding is, you know, I'm not putting a disparity on this, but a disparageness on this, but it breeds kind of ordinary people.
Yeah,
you know, just regular ordinary people that just go to their jobs 8 to 5. And believe me, man, we need people like that for this economy. We need people. If everybody wanted to be an entrepreneur, our economy would be fucked. There'd be no laborers, there'd be no workers to do all the other shit that the entrepreneurs need.
Fuck, people don't even want to go to work anymore. They're like, oh, they got so accustomed working from home that people.
Is that still a thing? I think that's kind of over.
No, dude, there's still people that are fucking fighting, not going back in the office.
Really?
Because they're loving working at home. Yeah.
Oh, you mean yeah? I thought you meant like collecting like the virus check.
No.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
because they're enjoying working from home and being able to make their own, like, I don't want to say necessarily their own hours, but their own kind of, you know, I'm going to sit at my computer and in my pajama pants or whatever, you know, and I don't have to deal with my boss up my ass, you know, looking over my shoulder.
See, if that were me, I would want to go back to an environment that were specific towards the thing that I was doing. I wouldn't want to stay at home, man. I would feel like a loser staying at home, even if I was doing work. I couldn't stay at home. I'd have to go interact with society. You know, I guess that's me. I'm an extrovert in that regard. I'm also introvert where I love staying at home. I love my home time. I love doing things around the house. I love, you know, that sort of thing. Like, I do love that. I do love my alone time. Very independent in that regard. But I also love to be around people and be in society. And so I think that if I were to pick one, I would have to pick going to the job, like going to the location, even if I'm doing the same kind of work at home at the location. What would you do?
I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't mind being home. You know, I like it. I like being home. I went to Walmart today. Bro.
I hate Walmart.
Bro. I went to Walmart today and I almost murdered like 4 people. just because I couldn't get around them. They were just so like not aware, when people aren't aware of their surroundings. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here. I couldn't find anything I was looking for. I was like, I just gotta get out of here. I'm going nuts. I like people. Like when I go to events, I love meeting people. I love meeting the fans. I love being out and being who I need to be. But other than that, man, I like being home, man. I like it. I like being on my schedule. I like doing what I need to do and not having to, and don't get me wrong, I do like to go out and like go out and like go take the dog and walk Pismo or whatever it is, but like I'll do it in the hours where there's nobody really around. So I don't know, that's just me. It's just how I am. So I think I think I've been going for so long, and then the pandemic kind of slowed me down a little bit where I wasn't going anymore. I kind of got used to not going, if that makes sense. But I'm still going. I'm kind of in the middle, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully I'm going to be going, like it's already starting to go. So I'm getting busier and busier, which I'm not home very often. Like these last 2 weeks have been just so hard on me. Mentally and physically and emotionally. And I'm getting ready to leave the house on Thursday. And then I'm pretty much like gone for like a month almost. Like I'm home a couple days here and there, but other than that, like I'm gone. And like, I'm excited about that. Because it will make my time go by quicker. Does that make sense?
Time in what regard?
Time as in my going here, doing this, boom, like making my days go by quicker, a little bit quicker than what they are right now. Last week was a rough week. Last week was a very rough week for me. Like I mentally crashed Wednesday and Friday, like physically and emotionally, mentally crashed. It was bad. It was really bad. I almost passed out while working out on Wednesday morning. I was at the gym where the squat is, right? And you have that little area where people put their stuff. Sometimes I sit up there. I almost fucking fell over. Almost took a back bump. Boom. And like I started feeling sick, and I was just like, whoa, what the hell's going on? And I called my coach, and he's like, get your shit, go home right now. And I grabbed my shit, and I almost passed out on the way home. Going up my stairs, almost passed out. I was white as a ghost. I was just lethargic, I guess. My coach is like, go and get the biggest fucking burrito you can find with some fucking chips and guac and, I fucked up. Okay, I fucked up. He didn't fuck up. I fucked up. Meaning, I took that as in have a cheat day. Not a meal, a day. So I had some cookies. I had the burrito. I had the chips. I had a quesadilla, protein shake. And I beat myself up all night because I felt like I cheated him. So I woke up next day just jacked and full and feeling great. Pumps in the gym were great, but I still mentally felt bad because I stepped on a scale and I was like 240 pounds, right? And I emotionally broke down because I have to make this 220 pound. It was so bad, Justin, that I would wake up in the middle of the night, I would check my weight. And if I was not a certain weight, I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep. Because that's just how mentally fucked I am in the head with that. And I know from what I've heard is like the last 2 weeks, you really drop a lot of weight and like water and all that stuff, right? It didn't matter to me. I wanted to be at a certain time. And I mentally broke down. Like, I was just tears and just crying. And I called my coach Friday morning and I told him, I fucking lied to you. He's like, well, what's up? What do you mean? I said, I had more than just a burrito and the stuff. You laugh, but I'm telling you.
No, I know. I'm laughing just because it's based on food. You know, it's just kind of funny. But I understand. I'm not trying to denote what you're saying. So keep going, please.
You know, and I told him everything I ate. You know, and I felt like shit because I felt like I disappointed him. So he's like, you know what, man? He's like, he goes, fuck the scale.
Thank God. Thank God.
He says, fuck the scale, dude. He goes, let's not have you do classic. Let's have you do male's physique. We'll put some calories back in you, clean calories. Get some carbs in you, right? We'll change your workouts. And he goes, and we'll get you on fucking stage. And then after April 1st, we'll go ahead and bulk you for a year. And then we'll go into open, so then you still don't have to worry about a fucking scale. And I'm like, okay. So he goes, throw the fucking scale away. Just put it away. He goes, you're done with it. He goes, I'll add refeeds into your in right now, but you're gonna eat what I tell you on a refeed, right? And you're gonna send me pictures, right? And I was just having such a bad relationship with food. I felt bad every time I ate. You know what I mean? Like, I felt bad every time I ate. Like, I just, and I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to feel bad about eating. I want to feel good about eating.
You mean you felt bad when you eat a not so good meal or
no,
high calorie
I just felt
meal?
bad. I felt bad about eating, period.
Anything?
Yeah, because I was just afraid.
Right. That's the reason why there are not many bodybuilders in the world, because this is what comes along with the process. And this is something that you either accept or you do not accept. It's black and white. And I know that's hard to hear for some people listening that are trying to do bodybuilding, but it's also the reason why you do not. You ever notice how you go on social media? There's so many different, I hate to use this word because it's so fucking overly used, but narratives.
Yeah.
Okay, there's so many different narratives of people that do the thing, that believe in something or a way of eating, believe in a way of training, believe in a style. Some believe in balance. Some believe in being obsessed. Some believe there's no. I'm towards the scale of people, or the camp of people that believe to be obsessed to get something done and to get it done optimally, to be obsessed to do it optimally. I don't believe really in balance, at least for seasons of your life. There's not going to be balance, you know. But there's so many different narratives that it's hard for somebody's trying to navigate the space, what to believe in, where to go for themselves. Like, what do I believe in? Whose opinion do I take the most stock in? It's hard to navigate because there's so many people that actually do know what they're talking about, but have total polar opposite viewpoints on the way you should travel in the pursuit that you're doing. If it's pertaining to bodybuilding, let's just use bodybuilding for an example. That it's like, well, what do I do? Do no carbs, high fat, you know, high protein, moderate protein. What do I do? There's so many. How do I train? Do I train 5-3-1? Do I do upper lower split? Do I do 3 full body workouts? Is it more better to do frequencies? Do I do bro split? What do I do? Like, and the answer lies somewhere in all of it. It's whatever. You have to first trial and error everything and figure out what you respond to best psychologically that you can adhere to, and you carry that for the rest of your life. Now, when it comes to the foods, it's the same thing. Like, I'm talking about training, you do that with training. Sometimes you definitely do a program for a certain period of time. Let's say maybe give it 3 or 4 months, and you flop to a different program because psychologically it's stimulating to switch programs. You know this.
Yeah.
Well, same thing with food, right? But food is kind of one of those things where it's just underpinning. It stays a constant. and you adopt a certain way of eating that best fits for your not only one psychological needs or psychological profile, but also what you feel works best for you in terms of staying, and I hate to use this word motivated, but staying motivated, like being able to be productive, staying looking forward to your meals, but also staying within a conditioning. When I use the word conditioning, I don't mean like physical conditioning, like of aesthetic conditioning, where you feel it's best suited for the look that you want, right? And you carry that, and then you just make little tweaks here and there based on whatever you're, in the season that you're in. Maybe it's like, Thanksgiving, Christmas and shit, and you maybe have a few more extra cheat meals than you would normally. Okay, well, maybe those days after that, maybe you fast and you do protein shakes only for that day afterward to kind of rid yourself of the calories and work through the calories that you ate the day. Okay, so like there's ways to adjust. But the point is, there are so many different narratives that people essentially promulgate. Where you need to fit what fits you. You need to see what fits you best. The only way to do that is through trial and error. But when you're competing, you don't really have a choice. It is one thing. It's basically your coach's ideologies. And that's what you essentially subjugate yourself to, because it's your coach's ideologies, your coach's framework, what he's indoctrinated to believe, and how he coaches you, which is what you pick up, and how you live your bodybuilding journey. So it's like, if that's the case, you have to just stick to the program in that regard. And it's like, it can be kind of hard because you're not him and he's not you. And he's not in your body and you're not in his. You don't know. He doesn't know exactly what's going on. And you just have to kind of, I guess, compartmentalize. Like, this is going to be something that I'm going to do, period, blank, or period, point blank. There's no negotiations. Or it's like, well, he's not me. He doesn't know how I'm feeling. And I'm just going to do this because, he doesn't really understand exactly what I'm feeling. And I feel like I need to do this because of this. Because I'm feeling this way. I look this way, I know my body well enough to know I need to do this, but it's like, it's off plan. Or sometimes, like what happened with the quesadilla and the cookies and shit, all the added stuff that you ate that he didn't tell you to eat, that was probably based on the fact that you felt like you needed it, right? And maybe there was urges to eat more because once you got the taste of the burrito and all the other shit, it's like it just elevated the hunger hormones even further. And your brain started to tell your gut, hey man, eat this. Maybe not brain and gut connected, but in your brain told your brain was saying, hey man, I need you to eat this. I want you to eat this, whatever. Because you're in a state of such deficiency in terms of calories that you're not operating on the same platform that you once operated with 5 months ago. It's totally different, man. And anyways, there are a lot of reasons why people fuck up. And one of them is because, and by the way, this is not you, but a lot of reasons why people cave. Some say it's psychological and they can't help it. It's a chemical imbalance, and they end up doing something or messing up the process and doing it in a state of like panic or threat, or they do it because they're weak and they can't say no. And again, that's not you, but that's people listening have done that. People listening have caved on their standards. And this is an actual testament to your willpower. This is not, you can't look at it as anything else. This is a testament, and people listening, it's a testament to your willpower. How much willpower do you have? That means how much heart do you have for the thing that you're doing. It's very important to understand that. And it's very important to test that and always come up on top as a byproduct of you testing that. You never want to be a failure in that regard, because willpower has the potential to guide your life with multiple pursuits you enact on. And
since he changed the whole diet up, right? And we're putting, he adds some carbs in, and I start falling back in love with food. which is good. I'm not afraid to eat now. I never thought that I would be so excited to make jasmine rice. I know it's weird to say, but like having jasmine rice with lean ground beef, so good. Forgot the taste of that shit. Having rice cakes. Forgot the taste of it. Now I have a low carb day. Tomorrow's my low carb day, and but yeah, man, like I just forgot how good it was to make food and just enjoy the process, because last couple weeks I haven't enjoyed the process at all. I've been a fucking skeleton. And yeah, I didn't look good. Like I thought I looked good. I looked depleted as fuck, and it wasn't good for the people that was around me. It wasn't good for anybody, So I'm enjoying the process more. I have a huge weekend coming up this weekend. I'm very nervous. I'm nervous. I'm scared. But if everything goes right, it can change my life for the foreseeable future. And if you're listening to this, please pray. That'd be great. Thank you. I take all the prayers that I need right now with this. It's a huge opportunity, man. And it's what I've been working for. And I forgot, and coach kind of brought this to me. He goes, dude, you're a wrestler. You're not a bodybuilder. You're a wrestler, right? You're doing bodybuilding to get in, to have that wrestler body. That's the reason why you're doing bodybuilding. He goes, you're not a bodybuilder, right? He goes, we're turning you into a bodybuilder, but you're not a bodybuilder. You forgot your love of wrestling. He goes, the reason why you started this was because you wanted to look better for television. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. He goes, stop being so fucking hard on yourself. Enjoy the process. And I'm like, I was too busy stressing out about the process than enjoying it, you know what I mean? But I'm back enjoying the process. I'm back enjoying the foods. I'm enjoying the rice cakes, and I'm enjoying, we added a little honey in on my cream of rice. We've added just little things here and there. Now, I know in the next couple of weeks he's going to cut the food down because we're going to get closer to the show, but that's fine. That means we're closer to the show. That means we're closer. That means we're there. That's why these next 4 weeks are going to fly by, because I'm going to be on the road. I'm going to be fucking wrestling. I'm going to be doing stuff I love. I'm going to be rocking and fucking rolling. And then the last 2 weeks, fucking tightening the fucking screws a little bit more. Boom, back on stage April 1st. On stage, fucking boom, back here April 2nd. Hoagies fucking 10 a.m. Or probably 11:30 noon. So
Hoagies 10 a.m.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, I'm going to Hoagies when I get back.
Oh, you mean
yeah.
for a meal?
Yeah, I'm going to Hoagies when I get back. I've already talked to Nick, man. We already got it fucking planned out, brother.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. It's funny you say enjoy the process, and I wonder how many people actually enjoy the process when they're competing for something. I wonder if Chris Bumstead enjoys the process when he's 4 weeks out. I wonder if Ronnie Coleman enjoyed the process when he was, maybe
Lightweight,
he did.
baby.
I think he did. He was a different breed, man. The way that he acted.
The way that he ate, bro. Holy shit. Like, damn.
What do you mean?
Oh, just the amounts of food that guy would eat. Oh, I've watched videos on Ronnie Coleman on the amounts of food that he ate, him and Cutler. Holy shit, those guys would eat. Wow.
Yeah, I wonder if I think Ronnie probably enjoyed it a little bit more than most people did, but I don't know. I don't know if I have that same viewpoint as you, because it's when you're trying to become something that you're not. It's a refinement process, and you're chipping away, and it's very tedious and arduous, and it's very discouraging at times. But then that's what makes you more calloused and better equipped to handle worse shit in life, and you become hardened as a result. And I don't think harden's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but at the same time, though, man, is like you have to do things you enjoy.
Yeah, okay, but there are things that you enjoy. Okay, so it's easy to do things you enjoy. But not everything that you enjoy leads, when we're talking about competing, not everything you enjoy leads to a favorable outcome.
Now, am I gonna feel this way, and then 3 or 4 weeks from now? I don't know, because then my food's gonna be depleted, and we're gonna really start tightening on the screws and stuff like that. But right now, as of this moment, right now, I'm enjoying what I'm doing with the new workouts and the new meals that I have and everything I have going on right now. Now, I know that's going to change probably like I said, in the next couple weeks, the closer we get to show. And I'll probably be back to being a grumpy old man. But I would rather be a grumpier old man 2 weeks out than 6 and 7 weeks out. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think everybody would like that. And that's how, look, man, I was the same way. I mean, I was worse than you. The only thing different is when I was that way, I would do one or two things. I would hide, or I would go out purposely in society and mingle, because I knew that once I started mingling, I wouldn't feel that same type of way. Like, it would get my mind off of myself and my circumstance, and I would be interacting with others with things that they're talking about. And it would get my mind off of me.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to do that. You need to get your mind off of you. And maybe, and I'm not saying you need to go out and like be this, good Samaritan and help everybody around you, although that would definitely help. Excuse me. But I am saying that you need to get your mind off of you sometimes, because everything is surrounding you. And it's almost like when you're bodybuilding, you're competing, if you do it seriously, you have to be selfish. And it's hard to be selfish if you have a giving type of attitude. And it's hard to be selfish when you have family around you that depends on you. It's really hard to be selfish, which is the reason why not a lot of people are good bodybuilders. And, make no mistake about it, you're bodybuilding. I know you're a wrestler first, but if you want to do good, which I would imagine that the reason why you're doing this process and as hard as you are is because you want to compete.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're competing, then you're competing for a top spot.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that by extension makes you a competitor, a bodybuilding competitor. So this is the framework that you have to adopt in order to do your best. Otherwise, why the fuck even do it? Because I don't think you're a man that does something half-ass when he does something. I don't think you're a man that goes in halfway, just dips his toes in the water, and is like, nah, I'll just put my foot in a little bit, but that's it. No, you go all in.
Bro, I dive head first.
So if you're going all in, it makes sense to now put the title above your head as competitive bodybuilder. And that's how you walk in the gym. This is just my frame of mind. This is just my logic. I'm not your coach. I'm not who you listen to. But this is, if I were coaching you or anybody, this is what I would put them in terms of their frame of mind. You're now this. This is how you enter into the workforce. The workforce is the gym. This is how you operate now. It is just how you operate now for this extended period of time. Once it's done, you're on leave, right? You're on leave, you're done, you've done with the show. Now we can recalibrate you for the foreseeable future. But right now, this is who you are.
And that's pretty much what my coach told me. Mm-hmm. He goes, he goes, that's the thing though. He goes, dude, do you understand like my first show, how many times I slipped up? He goes, bro, I slipped up a lot my first show. He goes, I'm surprised you didn't slip up sooner. He goes, I really did. I'm really surprised you didn't slip up sooner. And I kind of hold myself to that's probably why I beat myself up so bad. I hold myself to a higher standard, and that's why, like when I caved, I felt fucking horrible, But now I'm like pushing decent weight in the gym because I'm got carbs in me and clean carbs and. I'm feeling stronger. I'm feeling a little bit more clear-minded. And I'm ready. I'm getting ready for show. I'm getting mentally ready for show. I got to get what I have to do this weekend out of the way and all my other obligations. But yeah, I'm mentally preparing for, April 1st. And it's 5.5 weeks away. It's coming up quick, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I don't have to worry about weight anymore. Thank God.
That should have, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah, I know. I know for sure. Like, yeah. But it still was on my mind. Just because that's just kind of the sick fucking human being.
Well, that's what he put on your mind, right?
No.
He didn't say we're going to get you down to this level, this weight.
Well, he says you have to be 220.
Right, so he put the number in your head, which is the reason why you were so fixated around that number. Because he is someone that you respect and admire and trust with your body. So because of what he said, this is what you've now adopted as this is what I need to meet. This is the standard I need to meet. That's why that is I think the thing that is second in command. The first thing in command should be if you want to win and you want to do or at least do your very best. The first thing in command is your conditioning and how lean you are, how full to lean you are, in terms of how much muscle you keep, how much body fat you lose, what you look like aesthetically on stage. Where the weight falls is wherever the weight falls. That should be a second in command,
Well, it is now.
Yeah. And good. Because also you don't have to meet the stringent criteria for conditioning when you're doing physique. When you're doing physique, you just have to show abs and low back and Christmas tree. You know what I mean? And obliques and shit. That's it. You can omit the quads, hamstrings, and glutes, which is a big defining factor on placing when you're in classic and or open. So, yeah, that shaves off at least a few weeks right there from a normal bodybuilder's conditioning prep into the show.
Yeah, and I'm feeling good about it. I really am. I'm feeling really good about it.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I'm feeling really good. I believe I could, with where I'm at now, because I still feel like I'm a little bit ahead of the game. I believe I could do fairly well. Top 5, maybe 8. Whatever. But I'm gonna compete and I'm gonna get the first one out of the way, and then we're gonna reevaluate, and then we'll probably go open afterwards. So, yeah. But yeah, last week was really rough, man. It was mentally just an absolute mental roller coaster. And
good, because now you're better as a result of getting through that.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah.
And look, you guys, the listeners, I want to give a big shout out to the listeners. You guys helped us on the last video. Gave us a few more likes. We appreciate that. Please keep them coming. The first thing you need to do is just like the video. And please subscribe if you haven't yet already. But like the video for sure. It helps us to gain traction in the algorithm for YouTube. And so it would just help us. We would just please ask that you would just like the video for us. And if you feel compelled, leave a comment. But even not the comment, please just the like. And also subscribe if you haven't yet already.
Yeah. Do that.
Until next time, Beauty and Brawn!
Goodbye.